Hey folks, wake the neighbors, call the kids. Guess who's back? Back again. Shuffy's back. Tell your friends. Guess who's back? 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 It's me. Hey, how's it going? Back from Khandahar. Here to talk to you about some things from a perspective that I've noticed, and I started to see this in 09. 2009. It was kind of a unique time in Iraq. It was about the time that the last president, the last occupant of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, stated that he was going to draw down forces. And we all know what that led to, correct? It's reminiscent of that time and era right now. And another thing that was unique was I'd never been a FOB-it. For those of you that haven't been in the military, a FOB is a forward operation base, and that's what I was basically stuck on. So yes, I didn't get to travel all around Afghanistan. So this time I was basically on lockdown. Kind of sucked. But the interesting thing that I did find out is the corporations are still charging the same amount of money for the boots on the ground to the U.S. government. And yet they are, it used to be uncommon in my times going through Kandahar and also Bagram, the other military bases. It was very rare to see a non-American driving because they have what they call TCNs, third country nationals. And they usually are the ones that clean the porta potties, pump the gas, you know, the things that you normally would try to save money on, as a contractor would do. If you were carrying a gun, and it started to get watered down back then when they started using Ugandans, and they're still using them, by the way, in Afghanistan, except now the Ugandans that they use don't speak English hardly. They may say, hi sir, bye sir. That's it. That's their mastery of the language. Bagram, they have, it's, like I said, Bagram's its own little world, and I just passed through it. But I noticed the same level. Now it's very common to see more TCNs than actual Americans driving on an American base. And yes, they can't drive. So, just an FYI for you. That's changed. And gone are the days when you're walking down the road and somebody picks you up and says, or stops and says, hey, you going this there? That's gone. Ain't nobody going to do that anymore. So it's a unique perspective now. It's something different. And we're slowly transitioning and supporting the Afghans to take over this war. How do I put the war now is basically being, it's got ODA supporting it, and Americans supporting the air wing, the air mission, special missions wing. But it's being done by Afghan commandos, more and more. I never seen that much use of the Afghans before. This is a new thing, another thing. The interesting parts is watching them work on the aircraft. If the Americans or the Ukrainians aren't working on the aircraft, the first batch when I got there, the Afghans didn't do much. I mean, it was ridiculous. On working on the aircraft, their maintenance guys. The next bunch, though, they were a little different. They came in and They worked on the birds. So it was a different experience, even with batches of Afghans. But I find that to be pretty common in most of the second and third world militaries. Is you're going to have a mixed bag. You just don't know what you're going to get till you get it. So that's just a quick rundown of what I did for the past 3 months. Nothing eventful, very boring. Quite honestly, even they make a big deal about the rocket attacks or whatever. You know, that's one thing. They stepped up the stupid level on the Air Force bases. If a rocket gets shot down or whatever, they're going to announce it for the next 3 hours. It's ridiculous what they do. And anyways, I don't want to bash on it. I'm just saying this mission was unlike any mission I'd ever gone on. It was reminiscent of the 2009 one. My mates who were there with me when we stood up VBC from another contract company, same type of company, probably going to be in a lawsuit with this one, just like we are with the other one. But it is what it is. The company itself did not reflect the people. The people on the ground, I have nothing bad to say about anybody who I worked around. That's what I'll say. It was all company driven. Now, let's get off that. You're caught up. You know what happened. You got it from the horse's mouth. Nobody else told you. I did. So, now, let's get on with what I saw while I was away. I watched the meltdown over the Kavanaugh hearing. Anybody who has half a brain would know that the Kavanaugh hearing, that was nothing but muff fake, a distraction, and a play to try to stop the seating of Kavanaugh before the elections. It blew up in their face. Get out to vote. I know I will be. This just motivated the Republican base. Now, anybody who's watching right now, tell me in the chat if I'm coming in good or not. I'd appreciate that. I don't know if I'm getting out there. I noticed I had a couple people on. So do me that favor and just say you sound like shit or you sound good. It matters not. Next thing. I watched the silliness of what's going on with the libtards, and I will say that because, you know, even though they're not classical liberals. Yep, that's right, Willie Burger. Some have never heard do unto others. Thank you very much for letting me know I sound all right. Now, here's the other part. Notice that the streets, the courts, everybody's a Nazi. Everybody's a fascist. I always say this. Just own it. The idiots, it catches them on the back foot when you say, yeah, sure, okay, whatever. Now let's have a discussion. Or they won't. They'll escalate it. But it matters not. When you see what happened in New York with the Proud Boys, give me a break. The Proud Boys are Nazis. I believe they have all types of people in the Proud Boys. They're nationalists. They're not Nazis. It's ridiculousness. The people who keep trying to push this agenda, they're retards, and in the classical sense. They're retarded from college. The college has actually retarded their development, their growth, their humanity. That's why the NPC meme is so pungent to them. Because they realize they are the drones. They're the automatrons that are just in the game, in this matrix, that are just there to do the business. When I go into a shop, I buy something, a gun, whatever it is, you know, in the game, in the matrix, or I go buy a loaf of bread, whatever. They're the ones who will only do that. You can't control them, and they can't be controlled because they're just a part of the program. So, for those my age and older, if you don't know what NPCs are, I've just now explained it. Non-playing character. Now, so that I've woven those two, I think, fairly closely knit into why they're retarded in their development. Also, a correction, I did not go in depth why it's unfair now, really, even though I just said it, to call them libtards, because they're not. SJWs, social justice warriors, for you folks my age and older, are nothing more than Marxist. Or they're Maoist. They're communist. That's their one link together. And those people that don't realize this need to get spun up on it. And while they're inept, while they get their ass kicked with every time they try to do something stupid, they're still a dangerous group of people. And they should be handled as such. I can mock. I can say whatever. But I don't know if I would tell everybody else to do the same things. Yes, exactly. Willerberger said radical militants that can't bring a plan together. Exactly. Effectively. But what they can do is start a bunch of... And they have their willing accomplices in the press and the media. And they will put forth the narrative that anybody who stands against them was the mob. And the funny thing is, you just drop the letters up one more letter from mob, and you get NPC. Do it in the alphabet. Sing it in your head from MOB to NPC. And you're going to see that this whole meme is so effective on so many different levels. I was talking with a brother of mine the other day about the meme war. And he's like, memes don't really do anything. Let me tell you, they do. Meme magic is real. When I say that it is able to change people's perspectives on something, their outlook, because it's a tangible, quick thing that visually hits you, and whatever the small writing is in it will also make a point. And the little ways that they'll make their expressionist face still have an expression. Like they say, a picture says 1,000 words. And these meme creators need to be respected for what they do. And the left can't meme. They just can't. Their memes are never dank. They're not tasty. And nobody likes them. They're just stupid. Now that I've got that off my chest. What I will say is, and I'll be on a program tomorrow night on Veteran Syndicate Radio, helping my brother Giorgio's, and I'll probably get more in depth because I'll have a voice to go back and forth with on some of these subjects. This is just me coming home, letting you all know I'm back. I'm going to plan on getting on some shows and having some people on my shows that I promised I would when I'd get back. And we're going to have a good time again on the old Kaisers Kastle. And I'm glad you guys are all able to take a seat on my big orange couch. Pour your coffee, pour your tea, drink your beer, your soda, and just sit there and have a little fireside chat. The strategic planning of countering all these things that you're seeing, I believe I've come to a place where I understand how to do it. And that will be another show. It's not going to be this one, but the narrative has to be changed. And with them depersoning Alex Jones, that also happened while I was away, and deplatforming people, regular people, they'll probably deplatform me. That's okay. I'll find a way. I'll never go away. You won't silence me. I will say what I want to say. But I think the winning way is to, hey Joey Boomer, how's it going, brother? Hey back. I think the winning way from here on is to just smile and laugh and mock. And if they get confrontational, make sure somebody's videotaping for you, because they're going to videotape you also. And they never get how they started. They only get themselves after you've stalked a mud hole in their ass and walked it dry. So, like I said, I'm not going to get real political, but I do believe that I see the way forward. And it starts with be nice, be respectful. My optics. Everybody who's hip will understand what my optics is. Watch your optics. And just let them act. Because honestly, every time they act, they lose more power. So, these are the things that you have to think about in this day and age. Look forward to, with my other channel, starting some more survival stuff. I'm gonna go back to that again. No political stuff on that channel ever again. And when I do that, you guys will know where to migrate to check that out if you're interested. If you're not, that's fine. But I will be heading off to another contract on November 1st. So it's all these things. I'm going to try to do as many shows as I can when my wife's at work. So those who want to do a show, that's when that'll happen. Just because I'm not going to stay up all night doing shows anymore. I just, I've got a lot of things to prepare for. This next mission is my mission. And I'm going to be there with a bunch of bros. So that's how that's going to go. Hey, Willy Burger. So we'll talk about all that. And hopefully I can get some normal videos put out. And, you know, you guys will see my smiling face again. It's going to happen. Other than that, I want to thank all of you guys for showing up. Remember, like, subscribe, and hit that little bell. Ring the bell. So you get notifications when old Shuffy makes it. Oh, by the way, the other contract I'll be on, I will be able to have computer access and do a show. It may not be as high quality as the ones that I'm able to do here, because it'll be in a second world country, but a little closer and not in the east. I'm done with sand. The only sand I'll see from now on are beachfront sands. But that's pretty much it. So I want to thank you all for dropping by Kaisers Kastle. With that being said, we got about a 20-minute show. If you didn't get the beginning, as soon as I stop it, you'll be able to re-listen. I'm glad we had this time together, just to laugh a while and sing a song. Talk to you later, folks. God bless, be well, be safe. Shove out.